Hello there, and welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show in, I guess, honor of my last day here on Park City Television. My friends here were so nice and brought on Ritual Chocolate. And if you know anything about me, you know that I love chocolate, especially local companies. So that's why Ritual Chocolate is here with us today. How are you guys? We have Anna and Robbie. How have you guys been?
Good, wonderful. Good. It's good to see you again.
You as well.
I know. It feels like it hasn't been that long since we were on the show.
This is true, because as Joe mentioned, we show that factory tour I shot with you guys enough for people to be familiar with your faces.
I know, that's fantastic.
Sure. Yeah.
And we're so honored we could be here for your last show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am just thrilled to have you guys here. There's so much I admire about what you're doing. Like I said, the locale in terms of being a local company and really trying to be part of the community, as well as pursuing something that you love. There's nothing I think that is cooler than taking just an idea and making a business out of it. And that's what you guys have done. How many years has it been now since you started?
It's been pretty close to six now. Which,
wow. That's fantastic. And there's been some really great changes along the way. You guys recently, I don't know how recently, came out with some new packaging.
Yeah, just a couple of months ago, we got new packaging, and been really excited to share it. It's got a lot of sort of mountain elements, and brought in a little bit more colour. And you can see it. It's got like a silver foil to it. And we just wanted to tell the story a little bit better with it, and so opening up the package, it kind of has a little bit more going on.
Oh my gosh, that's so great!
Yeah,
it's like a
and mountains in the middle.
Oh, you guys are amazing.
Yeah, we just wanted to make it a bit more sort of Park City-esque as well. So
it makes. I mean, if chocolate couldn't get any more special, I mean, the packaging, you guys have really topped it off in that way. And that one is called.
This is the nib bar, so this has the cacao nibs sprinkled in. So,
and how many different flavors and options do you guys have?
Yeah, nine right now.
Nine in all. And this is the Mid-Mountain blend. Tell me about this one.
So the Mid-Mountain blend is our it's our blend of all the origins we work with. So Madagascar, Peru, Ecuador, Belize, and all of those different cocoa origins have super unique flavors. But then when we bring them all together, we create a whole new flavor, and that's become like our signature chocolate at this point. It's a lot of people's favorite chocolate that we make, and it's also just won gold at the Academy of Chocolate in England, which is like one of the biggest international chocolate awards in the world. And so for that bar to win, gold was really
such a big deal for us.
That is huge. And congratulations, by the way. I remember seeing some press release or something about that, recognizing you guys as a Utah company that has done that. How did that feel to get that recognition?
It's amazing because, like starting in this industry, we've seen other companies that have, won these awards, and it's just very kind of revered, and for us to win something like that, it kind of says, okay, after all this time and energy we put in, it's like, okay, we're on the right track, we're getting there, and it's
kind of
just
some more validation. Not that you need it, because you guys are doing so well anyway, but to get
thank
that,
you. I know it does feel a little bit like, okay,
like we're doing something right.
Yeah, it kind of validates that we're not totally crazy.
I know, right?
I mean,
that's always nice.
Because we've approached this whole thing with some theories about how to make the best chocolate possible, and we've invested a lot of time, invested a lot of money into the right equipment to make our chocolate the way that it is, and we're using like a process that it hasn't really been tested, and then to see it kind of come through and create a chocolate that's like amazing is good. It's good validation.
Exactly. And you mentioned the process. You guys are so particular about that, Robbie, in terms of the system you have set up to make sure that you do have top-notch chocolate. Tell me about that.
Well, what's unique about our chocolate and our process is, we combine a lot of some new equipment that was made recently, but also a lot of old equipment. So our refiner, it's a very specific type of roll mill. It was built in the 50s, and just like a very classic design. Even older, our conch, which is a really essential part of the process. It's basically a 3-day continuous mixing and grinding process. The conch that we just finished rebuilding was built in 1915 originally. So this is like an antique it's cast iron. It's got granite inside the sort of vat, and it processes the chocolate in a really kind of unique, old school way, but retains a lot of amazing flavor that I think a lot of the modern equipment kind of strips out through their kind of high efficiency. And anyway, it's like, I guess the signature of our process is those two machines, the roll mill and that old conch together. Anyway, it's all in the factory now. It's all running. This week, actually, we don't run batches every week because it's so much chocolate. It's like 1,000 pounds per batch.
What's the problem with it?
So we are actually running a batch this week, and so anyone that pops in will be able to see some of the machines running at most times of the day. So.
Right. And the smell.
Oh yeah.
When you step in there, the first time I met you guys in there, I was like, oh my gosh. How do you even like get through the day? Like smelling, it's like intoxicating.
I know. Well, it's funny because for us we don't really notice it anymore. I think it's just like in our clothes and it's like in our hair. But yeah, it's definitely the first thing people notice, which is pretty fun.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. So
really is. Let's talk about where you guys get your cacao beans from. The different parts of the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now we get our beans from Belize, Madagascar, Peru, and Ecuador. And and I think the fun thing for us is that our focus has always been single origin and showing really the differences in the flavour of those beans that we're sourcing. And so we have our sort of single origin line where you can really taste the chocolate side by side. And actually, if you go into our cafe, we have it set up so you can sample the different ones and try them all, which is sort of fun because having chocolate that's just two ingredients, cocoa beans and sugar, is it's fairly rare. I mean, there's more people in the industry doing it, but we really wanted to show that that's all you need to get really incredible flavor notes when you're sourcing really great quality cacao. So,
well, let's describe some of the differences that you can taste amongst the different regions of the world. I remember when I was doing a factory tour, I'm like, how do you tell the difference? You're not going to mix up, but you can. Like some of them have like different shades, different shapes.
Exactly, the different origins. I mean, genetically, they'll all be very different. The way that they're processed at the farms will all be very different. So they'll be fermented slightly differently, dried slightly differently, and the result is you've got beans that look different, smell different, different sizes, and they definitely taste different. I mean, everything is different. I mean, the amount of fat in each bean will be different from different origins by a lot. I mean, our Peru is like a high-fat chocolate, so it really flows well and has a nice creamy mouthfeel, whereas the Ecuador is extremely low in fat. It's very almost like thick and kind of just has a different fudgy, and something like Madagascar will be bright, citrusy, fruity, and then once again Ecuador will have none of those fruit flavors whatsoever.
How does that work? Is the soil composition, or how does that work?
It's a lot of factors. I mean, chocolate and cacao is a very complex substance. I mean, the seed itself has hundreds, if not thousands, of molecules in there that all contribute to flavor. And so, if you tweak the genetics just a little bit, different flavors will be brought out. If you I don't know, breed different clones together and produce different varieties. And the acidity, I mean, like the fruit flavor, I mean, the cacao comes from a fruit. So it grows on trees in the tropics, and the seeds come from like a football-sized fruit. There'll be about 40 seeds on the inside. And that fruit is actually really nice. It's like mango, sweet. It's a very nice, clean, fruity flavor. And depending on how the seeds are processed after it's picked, if they go through a stage of fermentation where they actually add yeast, and the yeast eats the fruit, and it goes through this whole process. But if it's processed in a particular way, you retain a lot of that nice fruit flavor.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, some of it comes from the pod, some of it's natural to the bean, but there's a lot of factors. I mean, that's the word we use is terroir, the French sort of the word for taste of place for wine. You know, like
Oh, I like
you know, wine has origins, you know, that are classified by their unique flavor. Cacao is the same way. I mean, you get sort of general flavors from Ecuador or a higher part of Ecuador, or you know, in different valleys. And
the comparison is so beautiful
Yeah.
and so fitting.
Yeah.
Like, I love that concept, and that's really what you guys do so well. Is that with the chocolate, there's a story with it. It's not just like the big bag, and like it's the quality over quantity is what you guys have really focused on. It truly is an art, and I wish that, you know, more people knew that. Especially, you know, I love that you guys, that I understand a little bit of what you're doing, and that I was able to go on this tour, and that it really is a true art form to be able to develop it in the way that you have.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely put a lot of time into each step, and you know, I think what we're really trying to show is, you know, when you're trying the chocolate, it doesn't take a connoisseur to really taste the differences. I mean, it's there, you know, and that's what got us so excited to begin with. We were like, wow, how do we kind of take this and sort of share this with people and refine our process so we can, you know, do these beans justice? Because there's so much labor on the farm side before we even get the beans that goes into, you know, a great chocolate bar. So
That's wonderful. And last of all, I want to find out a little bit in terms of the business development process to all those out there that have an idea and they're like, oh, I love this concept, but I have no idea what to do. You guys had you didn't know anything about this industry.
Or business.
I know, or anything. We just went in blind.
I mean, and look where you are now. What would you tell others who are looking to do something new with their lives and to pursue something? What would you say?
Well, I think I would say, I mean, it's important to really run with something that you're very passionate about, because I mean, it's definitely a big learning curve, and you know, you're making a lot of compromises when you really start on this path, and you know, you run into a lot of roadblocks. So I think just having something that makes you get up every day excited and wanting to learn more and problem solve, I mean, I think that's really the key. It's just persevering and just keeping at it, and you know, get there. And I think that's the exciting thing for us as doing this. It made us realize, wow, you know, anyone can do this. I mean, anyone can start a business and really take it to fruition. And so it's it's something that we're always telling everyone. We're like, we're doing it, but you know, you can do it too if you know.
That's so empowering. I love that. That's great. What about you, Robbie?
Similar. I'd say you know, make sure you love what you're about to spend the rest of like your life doing until you quit, I guess. But yeah, I think persistence. Just keep on, you know, chipping away. We've always said we've taken baby steps since 2010, and now, you know, here we are. Because people walk in and they're like, "Oh, look at all this crazy this thing you built," you know. And for us, we're like, "Well, it didn't just happen." You know, it's like we just chipped away at this little project for the last 6 years. So yeah, persistence, and then I think resilience is key, because I think, you know, in business and what we do especially, I mean, we have setbacks all the time. You know, we get hit with something new every week, whatever it is. I mean, out of beans from Ecuador, or the price got doubled on Belize, or you know, we've lost some staff, and we've had all sorts of things. I mean, or like we have no money in the bank account. We have all these bills, and it's easy to have these things come at you and keep hitting you, and I think resilience is super important, because it's really easy to look at any situation and say we're screwed, you know. But then if you just like put your head down and dig your way out, I mean, you can, you know, keep going. And
that is very empowering as well. Like, just keep on going, especially if you're passionate about it, as you said. And what's great is that when you walk into Ritual Chocolate, I mean, I don't want to say just the bars, not just the bars, but you do have more there. You have kind of a cafe of sorts, right?
Yep.
We do, and we've actually had a few additions to the cafe, which has been fun. We've brought in some baked goods of Auntie M's, and she's a new baking company in town, and she actually sells at the farm stand at Copper Moose. But she's brought in some great just creations that she's made with our chocolate, and also Shirley from Tupelo restaurant. She's also added like a cake and macarons, and Emily from Auntie M's has done more sort of brownies and muffins. So we've been, so that's been really fun. And then we're also retailing our drinking chocolate, cacao nibs, and we've added a few kind of mugs and t-shirts and things, I think since last time you went in. So it's just been slowly
That's
kind
fantastic.
of growing.
As you said,
Baby
chipping
steps.
away at
Yep.
it and making it grow. And
Yeah.
look where it is. That's so great. And you are just right down the road from us. What's your address?
I know, we walked here.
We walked.
Oh, you did? How lovely.
I know, it's
love it.
awesome. So the cafe is at 1105 Iron Horse Drive.
Very good.
So-
And we can find out more online where?
Ritualchocolate.com. We have a page for our factory tours and tastings that you can sign up for. And it shows our hours there. We're usually open like 7 to 6 each day. So,
Very good.
yeah.
Well, Robbie and Anna, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
And
you.
Such a pleasure.
congratulations. And
Thank you.
you can have
Best
these
of luck.
bars
I'm
as
so
a gift.
excited.
These are
This
party
is my
gifts.
breakfast for sure. Thank you, you
Nice.
guys. You've made my morning. So
Yeah, thank
a pleasure
you.
having
All right.
Good luck
Yeah.
moving forward.
Yeah, you too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Go check
thank
out
you.
Ritual Chocolate right down the road from us. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we get back, much more happening here on the Mountain Morning Show.